it? Can you dig it?
Episode 100 is upon us. Welcome to Rebel Songs Podcast. I'm your host, Mandy. Even though it is episode 100, nothing special going on here. Maybe I will run a little bit longer than usual, who knows. You just heard an amazing song by The Brains, which I have played multiple times before. And that was, of course, a fucking awesome Billy Idol cover. I don't know if I ever told you guys about my Billy Idol story or not, but it was definitely one of the best days of my life. I should just leave that story right there and have you guys wonder what the fuck I'm talking about. But I seen him in concert for my birthday a couple years ago. I was up front. I could almost touch him. And I think he noticed I was the only one singing along with the Generation X songs, which was awesome because I fucking love Gen X and I can't believe he even threw those in there. Nobody else knew what the fuck he was singing. Anyway, he sang part of Rebel Yell to me while pointing at me. And he did it a few times during that show. And he didn't do it to anyone else. I'm not usually the type of person to get starstruck because I really generally don't give a fuck about celebrities or Hollywood bullshit. But I seriously have loved Billy Idol since I was like 7 years old. I think he may have been the reason I got into punk in the first place. I remember seeing the cover of Rebel Yell and being like blown away by his look. And I remember being like, that is so fucking cool. I think I actually just wanted to fucking be Billy Idol in the 80s. That's how much I loved him. I loved Gen X too. If you are so young that you don't know what Generation X is, I will post a link and let me fucking remind myself right fucking now. And you go buy their fucking albums. They probably have a best of, which is, I mean, they didn't have that many songs, but amazing shit. Billy Idol's just so fucking good, and he's still rocking it live. He looks fucking amazing too. For all that shit he's been through, the drugs and the fucking motorcycle accident, all that fucking shit, he looks fucking great, and I will go see him anytime he comes even remotely close to my area. Anyway, check out that Brains EP. It's called The Cover Up. Other good songs on there too. I might play some in the very near future, but you should go check that on rebelsongspodcast.com. I'll have links to everything you hear, as well as that Generation X shit. And if you can't afford to buy stuff, go to YouTube and just type up Billy Idol Generation X. A couple songs will come up you can hear. I'm sure of it. I got some new stuff from Fat Records, so I'm just gonna make a giant fucking Fat Records set right here. Here's some new stuff and some slightly older stuff, and later on I'm gonna talk about a few movies that are absolutely must-sees. Both strong female leads, amazing actresses. I was totally blown away by one of them, but they're both good. So stay tuned.
I don't feel your time. copy our sound. Everything in Italy is stuck or broken down. Brazilian cops extort us, Russian officers deport us, Icelanders feed us horse and whale. Mexico gave the shits to us, the French like Jerry Lewis. Pigs beat up the opening punk band, the Dutch are fucking tall, but Americans win the prize of stupidest of them all.
Entschuldigung, hey, can I say something to you? Well, I'm going to anyways. You used to be such a great band in the early 90s. I saw you in concert. It was so good. Totaler Wahnsinn, voll gut. You used to be so great, and now you're so not great. What happened? You guys are old and... I mean, just so old. Euch zuzuschauen ist einfach nur peinlich. I mean, man muss sich ja fremdschämen. But don't take any of this personally.
Germans love to insult me. The country condescends. We call it arrogance, they call it making friends. Swiss all move to Australia, Sydney, city of queers. All we need to bring is American drugs and German beers. Last night was really fun. That's what I heard from almost everyone. I got a head stamp but not a first-hand account. I don't remember what booze I drank. I'm not sure what kind of drugs were done without any account. Can you count it as fun? I don't remember what notes to play. I don't remember the words I sing. Was it a good show if you can't remember a thing? Blue Sharpie slut on my forehead. How did this blood get on my shirt? Was it aggravated assault? If you're the only one who got hurt. I might have met her on MySpace. I think I went over to her place. Does it count as sex if you can't remember her face? I dislocated my knee. How come my bedroom smells like piss? Was it a good time or did we talk about afternoon fades to blackout? Whose number is this on my hand? Why do I have shoes without socks? Maybe this is the right time for a supervised detox.
I was a target, an easy mark. I was a victim of an asshole patriarch. Not just your standard dichotomy. I was a virgin without virginity. I used to genuflect, I used to pray, but it was useless, I was such an easy prey. Under sedation, at beck and call, I was a teenage, blow-up love doll. Without an option, without free will. I was 11 when I got put on the pill. A well-used fixture, a welcome mat. A lonely joy division laying on my back. Always a good girl, always obeyed. I was a prostitute who wasn't getting paid.
A perfect little girl, we're both so proud of you. You do everything that you're told, you speak when spoken to.
You make me so ashamed, I'm Jesus Christ, and I bled for all my sins. I saved myself from definite destruction. I'm here, and I will decide my life as suicide.
A perfect little girl.
How could you do that to me?
You do everything that you're told.
6 years of sodomy.
You make me so ashamed.
You're the one who should have
I
done.
gave the best years of my life to you.
You left me all alone.
My little girl gives daddy so much pride.
I'm suicide, God's illegitimate daughter. I'm stigmata, and I bled for all your sins. I saved myself from a life of a martyr. I'm here, and I will not abide my life. I'm
She's
suicide.
suicide. That name's a little creepy. She's suicide. Welcome to our tribe. She's suicide. Does she really belong here?
I'm suicide for life. My life is suicide.
Some brushes, some paint. She's using a palette instead of razors. She's coloring outside the lines and living life even farther beyond them, like they were never there.
Today I think I'll deface a street sign. Turn one way into three-way and do not enter to do not whine. Those signs are the rules for the street, but the rules in my life have turned into suggestion. Others are completely obsolete. I'm gonna snort white shit right out my nose. I'm gonna get tied up with pantyhose. I'm gonna wear torn and inappropriate clothes because I want to. I'm gonna suck a clit, I'm gonna make a fist. I'm gonna be a polyamorous. I'm gonna check everything off my list because I want to. Because I want to. Because I want to. Because I want to. Nothing's too taboo. Now I get used how and when I like. I took control of my soul outright. I'll be a sadomasochistic type because I wanna be. I'm gonna kick a hole, I'm gonna break a glass, I'm gonna fuck the world. I'm kicking ass, I'm living in the moment, not the past because I want to. Because I want to. Because I want to. Because I want to. Nothing's too taboo. Life's not fair, I'm glad it's not. You gotta play the hand, you gotta change the plot. Remember your life has no lot. It's always a second shot. Sometimes you gotta metamorphosize. Life's too short for fights and petty arguments when there's so many delights. I can't forget that just a few months ago I didn't know if I would see ya tomorrow. I didn't know, but I know one thing that's true. There's no reason 3 can't be better than 2. So I'm gonna make things right between us, not because mom told me what to do. Because I want to. 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 Trashley, is that you?
No, Susan. It's Daddy. You're coming with me.
3 tracks from Toy Guitar, Hyenas, Is It True, and I'm in My Head, and then 2 songs from NoFX, Insulted by Germans and Last Night Was Really Fun. 2 songs from the Home Street Home soundtrack, I'm Suicide and Because I Want To. Those songs are from Fat Mike's musical, and on that soundtrack, you got fucking NoFX, Descendants, Legwagon, No Use for a Name, Alkaline Trio, Mad Caddies, Frank Turner, Dropkick Murphys, and a ton of other fucking bands. It's pretty good. I'd say that fucking album is kind of so-so. Some tracks were really good, and then other ones I actually skipped because like, like, you know when a song just starts out and you just know that you're not gonna like it because you're like, oh, that sounded really fucking awful. I do that quite a bit, but anyway, I mean, some of the songs are good enough to go fucking check it out. So anything I play, you can fucking go to Rebel Songs podcast, click the link, it'll take you to the iTunes where you can actually listen to clips. So you're not like just buying shit that you have no idea what it sounds like. So go and do that. If you have some time, spend some time doing that shit. And obviously there's YouTube. Okay, dudes and dudettes. I'm gonna talk about a movie that I kind of stumbled on accidentally, and it's called Atticus Institute, and I think this went right to fucking DVD and Blu-ray. I'm not quite sure. There are 3 things you basically need to know about this. This is a possession movie. It includes fake found footage and interviews of people that were involved in this Atticus Institute, which studied kind of like fringe science type shit. And I love this kind of movie that deals with like the parapsychology stuff and just the thought of humans being able to do some of this shit. I kind of like it. It's cool. But again, this movie ends up being about possession. The woman who plays the possessed woman in this film, her name is Judith, and she's fucking amazing. She fucking blew me away. Her mannerisms and just the look on her face are enough to really give me the creeps. She did an amazing job. I really enjoyed her performance. The one thing I was relieved about was that this so-called found footage, like I don't want to say just found footage because it's not fucking real, obviously. And it's kind of like Blair Witch style, but it didn't make me dizzy. And it wasn't quite like as frantic as Blair Witch. I thought it was pretty good. It was well done. So that's one good thing. Besides, the acting in this was really fucking spot on. And they did a good job of like making you think that it really was the 70s. Like I would have just thought this was straight out of the 70s, some of this shit. There was definitely a few of those like, oh shit moments, you know, like you just can't help yourself. You have to say, oh shit. I did that a few times. And I actually jumped a few times, which is rare for me. I totally got lost in this movie. Way better than I thought it would be. I kind of had a preconceived notion about this movie, and it was based solely on the DVD cover. Honestly, I know, don't judge a book by its cover, but I've seen a lot of horror movies, and there's just something about certain DVD covers that I can just tell I'm not gonna like it, and that is kind of a low budget piece of shit. I can also do this sometimes with album covers. I just know when I'm not gonna like something, and I can definitely tell most of the time when I am gonna like something, just based on the album cover. This was a really good, unique take on a possession movie, and some really good acting from the whole fucking cast. It was well put together, no complaints. It's definitely worth a watch. But the next movie I'm going to talk about coming up after this set is one that is not to be fucking missed.
Demonic, looking out of the dark now, satisfying, calling on God. Don't you cry. sickening stench. The makes life less kind. Sickening stench. The makes life less. A sickening stench. Makes lifeless. Mach die Musik ganz laut, spiel den Song noch mal von vorn. Die Erde bebt, wir heben ab, den Verstand haben wir längst verloren. Wir schießen Raketen auf den Verstand. Untergehen. Wir schießen Raketen auf den Verstand. Wir zünden die Vernunft mit unserem Leiten an. Wir verbrennen alle und sind am Ende völlig ausgebrannt. a breeze. Life is a breeze. Life is a breeze.
Look at that fucking laugh box.
I'm in the monument they call me Phil. Hardly any excuses, hardly any doubt. And if another motherfucker wants to come and tell me how they can take away my shame, show me a glory hole in 100 miles. In any different way that would take a look. It's a right for me. I can't wait till you join our daisy chains. I'm singing. Sit on your hands and keep your thoughts clean. If everything's immoral, then what the hell are we? Wash away all impurities. If everything's immoral, then what the hell are we?
Okay, that was a nice fucking set. Denial Fiend with Corruption, Flesh, and After Party Massacre. I had to actually play that After Party Massacre because I've been watching a lot of fucking 80s slashers lately, ones that I have never seen. I'm finding some pretty fucking obscure ones, and a lot of the very good ones have Massacre in the title, so had to do it. 2 fucking songs from Radio Havana, that's new stuff. I can't pronounce the fucking titles of the song, so you're gonna have to go look those up yourself. And then 2 songs from the Broke Downs, Life is a Breeze and Everything is Immoral. You might have to wait till next month to grab that re-release of Denial Fiend, which is called Horror Holocaust, but the shit is worth it if you want to wait. It's on Dry Heave Records. This band is formed by members of Obituary, Down by Law, The Accused, Toe Tag, and DRI. How fucking cool is that? Some of you little twerps might not know these bands, so I will link up to some of their albums. I remember most of these bands from when I was a kid. All very good shit. Apparently this band is also working on some new stuff, so I will be keeping an eye out for that. And I remember, do you guys remember those magazines? If you were like a teen in the 90s, they always had like, what were the Hit Parade, was it? Shit like that. Like Nirvana was always on the covers. Fucking Jesus Christ, I can't remember. But they always had like these like a catalog or an advertisement for t-shirts. And it was always like Obituary t-shirts and fucking, I don't know, all those fucking metal bands. Of course they had like Nirvana shirts and shit like that. I was always so obsessed. Of course I was too young to order shit because I didn't have money and I didn't have a fucking credit card. I'm not even sure how that worked, but I was always so upset. I wanted every fucking t-shirt from there. What was that fucking funnel band? Always had the fucking coolest t-shirts. Fuck, I need to find one of those fucking magazines and take a fucking time warp back in my fucking childhood looking at those magazines. Holy shit. I always had an obsession with band t-shirts. I used to get in trouble in grade school all the time, and even in high school. I went to a Catholic school, and I had to wear a white dress shirt, and we weren't allowed to wear anything with writing on the back. But I every fucking day, I don't know, it was like fucking 15, would wear this Rage Against the Machine t-shirt. On the back it said, we have determined that your whole system sucks. And you could see it through the back of my shirt. And one time I was in music class, and I had a really cool fucking music teacher. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he came up to me from behind and tapped me on the shoulder, and he said, we have determined your whole system sucks. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm getting sent to the fucking principal's office for my t-shirt. They're gonna send me home. And he said, I agree. And he fucking walked away. And I think that was probably the best moment of my high school career. And you're probably wondering, like, oh, this motherfucker went to Catholic school? Yes, I did. We're kind of bred around here to go to Catholic school. And Catholic school from grade, I think kindergarten, all the way till I was done school, is the reason I don't fucking believe in religion. How fucking ironic. Anyways, I am rambling so much in this episode, but I want to talk about that second movie. This fucking actress was so fucking good. This movie, I'm begging you all to fucking get a hold of this. I can't even believe there isn't a bigger buzz about this fucking movie. It's called Starry Eyes. Starry Eyes. It came out, 2014 originally. Out on DVD now. So here's the summary from IMDb. A hopeful young starlet uncovers the ominous origins of the Hollywood elite and enters into a deadly agreement in exchange for fame and fortune. Okay, this actress, her name is Alex Essoe, Essoe, I believe, and she was fucking nominated for Best Actress in the Blood Guts UK Horror Award and the Fright Meter Award. Sadly, she didn't win either of them. I'm gonna have to look up to see who actually did win. I don't know what it was about her acting, but holy fuck, I was like biting my fucking nails. She was intense. This girl would have won an Oscar if she gave that performance in something other than a horror movie. Horror movies get no respect. This movie is just straight up fucked up, which of course I like, but it also has like an element of its own. It doesn't bring to mind any other horror movies that I have ever seen, which sometimes I do when I'm watching something. I'll be like, oh, this shit reminds me of Devil's Rejects, or this reminds me of Halloween. I think I've seen this movie do this same fucking thing. You know, that fucking bullshit. My mind's always doing shit like that. This one completely captivated me, and I didn't think about anything else. Like, this is how good this fucking movie is. This has its moments with, like, subtle creepiness, but then it has some really straight up wicked fucking gory parts. And about an hour into this movie, I noticed that I was actually, like, kind of sick to my stomach. I was thoroughly grossed the fuck out. Solid makeup, like, the artistry in this shit, it wasn't over the top, but it was completely fucking believable. Also pretty gross at the same time. Good backing music. The whole thing was put together very, very well. And you know what's kind of funny? I watched both of these movies alone. And I notice when I do that, I see more of the movie for what it is. Like, I notice smaller details. So maybe that's the reason I loved both of these movies. Maybe I should just become a fucking hermit and podcast and watch horror movies non-stop. But I still recommend this one to everyone who can stomach any type of gore and blood and worms and maggots and shit like that. Get on top of this fucking movie.
There's a 2x4 in my hand, flames in my eyes, carbon dioxide is in my lungs. Time's not on your side. Time's not on your side. is a backstreet background noise. This noise is backstreet noise with the background noise of the backstreet. This noise is backstreet noise with the backstreet background noise. The background noise of the back streets. This noise is backstreet noise. This is backstreet background noise. This noise is backstreet noise. This is background noise for the back streets. This noise is backstreet noise. This is backstreet background noise. This noise is backstreet noise. This is background noise for the back streets. This noise is backstreet noise. This is backstreet background noise. With the Backstreet Boys.
Alright, a band called Off. You should probably know them. Started off that set with Time's Not On Your Side. Roadside Bombs with 2 tracks, Backstreet Noise and Recess Control, and Utter Failure with Fuck Your World. Okay, that Roadside Bombs is from My Side of Town LP on Chapter 11 Records. You can find links to that on rebelsongspodcast.com. You'll be hearing more from that label, Chapter 11 Records, very, very soon in the future. Check them out. They've got some really, really good shit. And of course, that Utter Failure can be found on Say 10 Records. I love them too. And I just want to give a shout out to all those bands and labels that share their music with us. Go support them and all the hard work that they do. If you find a band on this podcast that maybe you never heard before, you can follow me on all my social media, where I generally post links and shit to where you can like follow these bands and like their shit, so you could keep updated on tour dates and new releases and shit like that. I also want to thank all who rated and reviewed Rebel Songs podcast on iTunes. If you haven't done it yet, please take a minute and get her done. Also, another thing I want to talk about, sometimes fuck, everything's falling off my desk right now. Sometimes, well, 99.9% of the time, ringtones and notifications really irritate the fuck out of me. So, my phone is set to never flash shit on my screen. Like, I have an iPhone, but, you know, like when it pops up and you can see who's texting you, I don't have that shit. Ever. And my phone is always on silent, so I never hear that shit. I never see it. I only know when I get stuff like that is when I check my phone. And I'm not always logged into my social media. And like my Facebook, for example, I only use on the computer. So if you write me or a comment or something on there, I might not see it for days later, depending on how much I work on the podcast. Don't be like, what a bitch, because I don't fucking write you back right away or whatever. I would never fucking ignore someone on purpose. And I'm not the quickest to fucking write back. And phone calls, man, don't call me, because I will never answer my phone. I've always been the type of person to hate the phone, even when like cell phones didn't exist. Don't call me at my house. Like, I used to use MSN Messenger for everything. Every plan I ever made was MSN Messenger. Anyway, so I find being bombarded with notifications and all that shit, like, when I'm trying to do something else, it really irritates me and distracts me. So that is why that, you know, sometimes I'm just not around. But I do want to talk about something. It's not like I get a gazillion fucking emails and notifications, but I do want to talk about something that I find really, really strange. I get behind on my emails and stuff, and I get labels. Sometimes they'll send me, they'll put me on their list, and I'll get like tour dates and album fucking information and shit like that. The most stuff I get are from black metal. Well, I don't know, it would be used through a promotion company, but black metal bands and genres closely related to. I get fucking emails every day about new fucking black metal, Swedish death metal releases, and I don't even play any of that stuff. And I don't know how these promo companies or labels got my email address to send me all this stuff, but those crazy fucking black metal heads really do a good job at promoting their shit. Holy fuck. I literally spend a nice chunk of time dedicated to deleting those black metal emails.
Only you
get to waste a few heads along the way.
You just soldier and keep your mouth shut.